Justin, thanks for joining me. It's been a hectic season and full of ups and downs. But first of all, what are your thoughts on the campaign that's just gone?
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago when we started it, but also it seems like 5 minutes as well. But like you say, some really positive moments. Overall, um, we're looking at it as having a look at the league, learning about it, being in three different leagues in 3 years. It takes a lot of challenges. Yeah, lots of positives to take, lots of learning, areas we can improve, and we're really looking at this next period as a exciting period to be planning.
Yeah, it's a tough league, isn't it? The National League North and the sheer amount of travel we have to do is just adding an extra caveat to the difficulty, I suppose. And you're talking about learnings there. What exactly have we learnt from this season? Apart from the blatantly obvious that it costs a lot of money to go to Spennymoor and South Shields.
Yeah, it's obviously financially it impacts. Funding the travel is it's obviously money you can't put in on the pitch because you've got to find it from somewhere. So that's frustrating, but at the same time, um, I do enjoy the North League as well. I think there's some great clubs in it. The football is, some big crowds. There's the football's quite more agricultural, I would say, but it's tough to play in. Um, trying to you've got to have a little bit of everything. You've got some very direct tactics, but also good athletes, well organised. So actually, there's been a lot of learning about the way teams play. But overall, if you're in the National League, there's 40 however many teams, and they draw a line down the middle. And if we have to go north, we do. But obviously, it is hard, and probably the big impact is where you're recruiting your players from. And we've had a lot of players that are travelling 2 or 3 hours to get to us to then go 2 or 3 hours further, and that is a real tough ask.
Yeah, there's going to be changes going into next season. That's for sure. And we've seen a few familiar faces that are going to depart. But can you shed some light on the tweaks we're making behind the scenes? Perhaps making it a slightly different scenario going into next season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's every year we kind of have a reflection of where we are, where do we want to get to. We had a taster, obviously, of the National League, and we realised actually off the pitch we were way off of being ready for it, and on the pitch we were way off being ready for it, just in terms of fan base, in terms of resources, finances, players, squad size, all of those things, and actually to be competing at the top end of the National League North, it's no different really. So there's full-time teams, a lot bigger resources than us. So we need to, not saying we have to kind of outgrow all those sides because there's some big sides there, but we need to get to a competitive level where we're getting more contact time, more coaching, we're being able to prepare the team more effectively, and that will help in our competition. So what we've actually looked at is moving more towards a daytime model for our training. It's more aligned to professional players coming out the game. They're used to working in the daytime. It suits a lot of people, but also it means we can get that, analysis work in, conditioning work, preparation, extras, everybody working on their own individual stuff as well. So a lot more contact time. And unfortunately, at any time you make a change like that, there's going to be players that, you want to keep them, you love them to bits and so on, but you're thinking of the longer term vision.
Yeah, and for being on the inside, I can see the work's already started. You're having conversations with staff around the club. Ross, the manager's obviously already looking at players that are going to come in. There's going to be a busy summer ahead, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's always a little bit of this time of year, a bit silly season of a million agents and players, and uh, everyone's worth about three times as much of their value. So yeah, it's we are, and now that's aided by data as well, obviously. So a lot of our recruitment we can actually be a bit more refined by honing in on players that fit our model, fit what we want them to do in their playing position, and then we can narrow them down using video, using reports, before actually, using it's just things have advanced, but everyone's doing that now. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's important as well to talk about the women's first team who've, again, had a superb season. There's still one final to go as well. Again, there'll be a few changes in the summer with a new manager eventually will be coming in, but there's certainly a sense of real excitement with the women's first team, well, and the whole program. What is the ambition for the team next season?
Next season, it's promotion is we want to be in a title contender ready position, because unfortunately there's only one promotion spot. We are really, really committed to our women's program. We want to attach a budget, a reasonable budget for what we can do. We'll be looking for lots of support from people that are interested in women's football. We really want sponsors to get involved to help drive the club forward. We have girls playing right the way from age 5 all the way through, including a brilliant velocity program, 16 to 18. The females won their league quite comfortably, and we've got talent that's going into the first team. So we'd like to certainly get promoted next year, or if not, be really knocking on the door. And then, it's trying to get as far as we possibly can, and I think equally as important is the men's. And if you'd have said to me that we would have had, there was a day where Oxfordshire crowds in football, the top was Oxford City at home with 700-800. The second best crowd was of the weekend was 340 odd for Oxford City women. That out above all the likes of your North Leeds, Didcots, Thames. So there is a genuine interest there, and it's great to see the girls coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well, Oxford United women play their National League games here. Promotion for the women would mean promotion to that National League level. So the blocks are already there. That's being built upon as well, all the way down through the youth system. And with the exciting news of I think it's 7 additional female squads in the JPL League, which is a more advanced level of football for junior players. How important is that for Oxford City as a club to offer that to all of our junior players?
Yeah, it's we're it's a difficult position the football club's in, because we are a community club. We do a lot of programs here that are designed to give opportunities for those who maybe couldn't access. We have our grassroots teams that play. Some are equally as happy playing in the E division, for example, right up to the elite. And on the boys, we have more of an elite strand running all the way through. The same will happen with, it's trying to get exactly the same structure for the women's. So we're not excluding people. Those grassroots teams will still be there. But actually, there is a vehicle here where there's a lot of talent. We want to be competing at a better level, producing players into the velocity program and then into the first team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through all these questions as well, and you actually really realise how busy this year has been and how exciting next year is. But a big part of that, you mentioned junior players and giving them an opportunity. A big part of that is the charity, which has been rebranded this year to the Hoops Foundation. I expect there'll be some big projects on the horizon there, and it's just another opportunity to give opportunities, I suppose. What can we expect there?
Yeah, I think it's communication as well as what as to what the charity, what the aims are really, and why that charity is in existence. And it's been laying there kind of in existence, but without really promoting itself. But we're running lots of. If you look at the people side of it, we're providing people who need bursaries, who can't fund playing football, or kit and equipment. So we're providing those for them to minimise any barriers. We deliver programs for specific groups, disability programs, educational programs, and things like even like walking football. And so we've got some mind sessions, looking at really sort of engaging with people that may be struggling in some ways. So that there's lots going on. And like you say, it's not just everyone thinks Oxford's really affluent, but there's some of the least affluent areas in the country here as well. And also maintaining some of the equipment and facilities is really high on the agenda.
Yeah, you've done well to get a load of them off the bat, because there's a lot that the charity do.
Yeah.
And finally, last and certainly not least, right at the beginning of the season, we announced the partnership with the University of Oxford, and it really was groundbreaking. And in particular, highlight, we've had the first year of that. How's that been?
Yeah, it's gone so quickly that you have all these sort of aspirations of what we're going to be able to achieve, and I think it's kind of making meaningful blocks along the way. We've got 3 core areas that we're trying to work on: education, facilities, and research. And in each of those areas, we've started to make some inroads. Education-wise, we've developed the first ever Oxford Football Leadership Programme, using a number of the players. They had 10 weeks, and management as well, 10 weeks of high quality education delivered by Alex Betts and Ed Brooks as leaders, bringing in guest speakers. And it was absolutely awesome to learn in those colleges. And the idea of that was players could learn about leadership on the pitch, but also for their future careers. As we know, they're not all going to make professional footballers. So that's going really well. We're developing it further. Looking at a full-time researcher to come in as well and work alongside that. Facility-wise, we've shared some of the university grounds this year, playing on some grass, which was nice. And we've also extended some of the college spaces for our growing junior teams, which we're looking to house there next year. So there's lots going on in that space. And also the university are using our facilities regularly as well. So this will become, over time, almost like a bit of an extra campus for them as well. So that's been fantastic. And on the last bit of that, the research side, we've got a number of projects that we're working on, but one in particular, Football on the Brain. Oxford United in the community are also involved in this project, but it's researching neuroscience and football, and how we can help develop the neuroscience within the game.
Very exciting. They're just one of a lot of partners that we have here at the club as well. And it wouldn't. And the final question is well, not really a question in the end. It's more of a message to them, because just like the fans, they've been right behind us all season as well.
Absolutely, and we've got some brilliant sponsors who've got great businesses who are having such good impact in the community. I think this year, even though sometimes the results haven't been how we want, we've had, with the extra space we've got with the marquee, the way that everything's operated, it's been brilliant to welcome businesses on match days, networking events, business clubs, all of those areas. And we're so thankful to those sponsors. They're making a huge difference to the people, the community, and also the football club. And whatever your reason as a business, whether it's meeting other businesses, networking, or actually wanting to put something back into the community, or even drive us to promotion, we kind of really want to support that and get to know people and help them out as well.
Justin, thanks very much.
Thank you, Andy.